now. And it is time for Eye on the World with Selwyn Manning from scoop.co.nz. G'day there, Selwyn.
Yeah, good morning, Glenn.
And our Eye on the World today is focusing once again on Afghanistan. Why Afghanistan this week?
Yeah, there's been a plethora of information circling on Afghanistan, particularly over this weekend. We had WikiLeaks yesterday release hundreds of documents. They're intelligence reports and the source intelligence reports on collated information from those who have been held at Guantanamo Bay. And media from all over the world are obviously, trawling through, data mining that stuff at the moment. The Washington Post, The Guardian, The Telegraph, and many significant publications have had a lead-in on them, and there's some excellent evaluations going on there, Glenn. But also up in Kandahar in Afghanistan itself, hundreds of Taliban, about 540 Taliban escaped from a prison up there. It appears that a tunnel was dug from the outside and into the prison, and those individuals have successfully escaped, and a statement followed from the Taliban shortly after, given to Al Jazeera, and that indicated, that they basically just waltzed out under this tunnel and to their freedom and ready to fight again. But also, Glenn, here in New Zealand, Metro Magazine investigation came out on Saturday. It's an investigation by John Stevenson, an award-winning New Zealand investigative journalist. Now, that article, it alleges that the New Zealand Defence Force has handed over Afghani detainees to the US and Afghanistan interrogation units, knowing that they will likely be tortured. Now, that article, it spans back to around 2002 and up until present day.
And it's something that we already suspected. I'm sure I'd heard that this news filter out before, but I guess John Stevenson has found more evidence.
He has. What he's done is he's gone to the Kiwi SAS soldiers that were up there in Afghanistan. He's interviewed them. Their names are not used for obvious reasons, but he's also gone into Afghanistan and he has interviewed those that were detained at the times that he was given all this information on, and he's interviewed them about their experiences. And it's honestly, listeners and viewers, they should get a copy of that Metro Magazine article and have a read if they haven't already.
Now, I know that Obama and his administration has condemned any form of torture, but that wasn't always the case, though, with the previous administration, was it? That's
right. Now, the use of torture, the word torture, was kind of redefined by the Bush administration, and there's you maybe have a clip there that's giving George Bush is giving an account of the use of such methods.
Yeah.
And whatever we have done is legal. That's what I'm saying. It's in the law. We had lawyers look at it and say, Mr. President, this is lawful. That's all I can tell you. I'm not going to tell you specifically what's done because I don't want the enemy to adjust. We're at war. This is people that want to come and kill your families. If that
complete with dramatic music as well.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of a hum to that one, hasn't it? And what's going on in this article that we're referring to is John Stevenson, his article is alleging that the New Zealand Defence Force knew that some of the detainees that were handed over to these interrogation units, both led by the United States and by Afghanistan itself, would likely be tortured, and the SAS in the article are saying that what basically they witnessed on numerous occasions. Now, what's concerning is it does appear that the New Zealand Defence Force then had its legal people look at how it could continue to operate up there and meet its international obligations, but perhaps circumnavigate the law so that its soldiers and leaders itself in New Zealand would not perhaps face international criminal court charges if everything went bad. And one of the ways that they appear, according to this report, appear to have got around the Geneva Conventions, the International Criminal Court requirements, is to have say there's a unit of SAS soldiers rounding up people and taking them prisoner. If they have a United States individual there from United States military units, or say one from Afghanistan, present, then they can actually write the documents, sign the documents, and hand those individuals over, and the New Zealanders are then not necessarily legally culpable. But one's got to question the morality of such a thing, and whether or not New Zealand is complying to the spirit of international law here.
Indeed. And what sort of torture methods are we talking about?
Well, once again, we've got a bit of a clip there that's actually reading them out, and I've got to lead into this. It's quite disturbing kind of things here.
We tried out many of our new interrogation techniques on Juma al-Dosari. Colangelo O'Brien met with him many times and catalogued what was done with him. Al-Dosari said that Americans forced him to the ground and urinated on him. We put out our cigarettes on him. We shocked him with an electric device. We spat on him. We poured a hot cup of tea on his head. We told him that, quote, "We brought you here to kill you." We beat him until he vomited blood. We threatened to have him raped. We dressed him in shorts and left him in a frigid, air-conditioned room. We abandoned him in another room with no water. We invited him to drink from his toilet bowl, which he did. We wrapped him in an Israeli flag. We told him that we would hold him forever, and we told him that we would send him to Egypt to be tortured. On a different day, we chained him to the floor and cut off his clothes while a female MP entered the room. We dripped what we said was menstrual blood on his body. When he spat at us, we smeared this blood on his face. We kissed the cross around our neck and said, "This is a gift from Christ for you Muslims." We videotaped the entire episode.
Truly disturbing stuff there, Selwyn.
Yeah, no, it is. And, this is a readout of an account that is an official account of some of the methods that were used against individuals who were detained and are detained, continue to be detained in Guantanamo Bay and other places around the world. Now, all of this is raising, obviously, concerns about how New Zealand is implicated in this. But unfortunately, what we've seen, like from London yesterday, the Prime Minister, John Key, has said that there is nothing in the report, the Metro report, that would raise questions for him to actually call for an independent inquiry into this. And he added that, I'll just read that John Key said, "I am totally confident New Zealanders have acted in line with that convention. When people have been under New Zealand care, they have been treated properly." Now that claim is perhaps based on what he has been told, but if the Prime Minister wishes to be assured that certainly things have been conducted in such a proper manner up there, surely an inquiry should be held into it. The list of concerns goes on, Glenn, and certainly the listeners may be interested to have a read of that article if they can still get a copy of it.
Absolutely. And more from the WikiLeaks that The Guardian and New York Times are reporting.
Yes, now there's once again, it's opening the lid really on the kind of information that was used to justify the apprehension of individuals. And for example, there's information coming out on, he was a 15-year-old boy who his father was Taliban. And he happened to be at a meeting when Osama bin Laden was still knowingly up in Afghanistan. And he was taken to Guantanamo Bay and he was interrogated. And there's a clip of his interrogation there too, if we have time, Glenn.
I lost my eyes. I lost my feet, everything.
No, you still have your eyes, and your feet are still at the end of your legs, Look, I want to take a few minutes. I want you to get yourself together, Relax a bit, have a bite to eat, and we'll start again. I understand.
So is it important, Selwyn, that people, are exposed to some of this brutality to actually understand what has been going on in secret?
I think there's a national and public interest in people being aware of what is happening in our name. We're a part of an international coalition that is justifying such methods. We're not obviously, the debate is the dangerous people out there. We've seen the results of that. but the methods used by some of the special forces, particularly against people, is certainly questionable. Once again, it's concerning. Should New Zealand have been a part of this? That 15-year-old boy you just saw and heard a clip of then, he has admitted now, after 7 years of being detained in Guantanamo Bay in regular interrogations, he has admitted to 5 counts and charges put against him that do include murder. But once again, one's got to wonder whether or not the admission came as a means of trying to get some relief from some of the methods being used against him.
So, Manning for Eye on the World, thanks very much for joining us. You can view this as a video once more. It'll be up at scoop.co.nz. Sal, and talk to you next week.
Thank you.